So again, we are facing the problem, a very active new drug, but with some risk of severe side effects. And here is a cartoon which, being now on the Pacific coast, from Gary Larson, which I like a lot. You may face this situation that you run away from the bear, that's what they're crying about, bear, bear, and running into the arms of a shark. So that's definitely not what we want. So we have to take into consideration that with the new drugs, which are more potent, we have to watch out for side effects and have very careful programs to monitor them in order to have safe drugs. This is still one of the major issues or the leading issues we really want to do with the development of new drugs. So coming back to these goals again, we may now try to tackle the last one, enhance repair. Are we prepared readily to do that? Because before we go use drugs on which we would like to look for repair, neuroprotection, axon protection, remyelination, structural repair, we have to ask ourselves, can we really measure that? And how should we measure this? And there are actually very recent data which were published in Brain just a few weeks ago, showing us one approach with a very interesting, already available drug, erythropoietin. Everyone who is interested in bicycle races knows about it quite well, because that's one of the standard drugs these guys take to get better up the hill during the Tour de France. So it's a drug which has some ups and downs, but it's a very effective drug to treat anemia, for example. And it has a neuroprotective effect. And with a group from Germany who studied that in a very selected population, so it's more a targeted approach, they developed also some new scales to look at that and also made use of electrophysiological assessment, which really tells us more about the function. And it's just an example what I think will be important for the future to, again, if we want to look at new effects, we need the appropriate scales and the appropriate measurements to really take up something what we're looking for. Otherwise, we will lose because we're not asking the right question or we will not dealing with the right assessments. So in conclusion, what will the future MS therapy bring us? On the one hand, we still have to try to improve the capacity of the current disease-modifying drugs, and they will probably remain as the platform for treatment for some time, because we know that they all have a very good long-term side effect, and the new drugs will offer us new chances, but also new risks. And it really takes some time to define how big these risks are and how willing and how individually we could assess this risk profile. As I mentioned at the end, we probably need to consider new treatment endpoints, and combination of this therapy, particularly maybe something if we want to achieve further goals in terms of enhancement of repair mechanisms. And of course, at the end, we would like to have something where we could identify different targets in an individual person to really have an individualized treatment approach. And these are the things for the coming future. And some of these aspects really will be dealt with in some of the issues which are also presented here at the EMSP, looking back, for example, in history, how far have we come and how it will go in the future. And I would just recommend to you visit the booth of EMSP and MSIF, because some material, again, new audiovisual material will be presented there where you can get some more information about this at all. And now at the end, I would like to skip that. Just thank you to all of that with one of my favorite creatures, the jellyfish, which are so nicely depicted here, and you can see them once you have a chance in the Vancouver Aquarium. Thank you very much. Goodbye.